Linear patterns. Your learning target today is I can identify patterns by using all four operations and find what is missing. And you'll know you're successful when you can find the missing number or missing numbers and find the pattern based on what is happening. So today we are going to be working with linear patterns. And linear just means that I'm going to find a pattern in these numbers without using the input-output table. That's what we were doing, and that's how we figured out a pattern, right? Well, first I had a 3, and after I had a 6. First I had a 9, then I have something else. This means the same as what I'm showing you above right here. A linear pattern without that table. 3, 6, 9, and then something's missing. That's what we are going to find out right now. So by doing that, the first thing that I should do is figure out the pattern. That would make the most sense. And so far I have a 3, 6, 9, and then our number that's missing. So right away, I'm noticing what happens when it was a 3 to when it happened, then when it turned into a 6. So what happened there? It looks like the number went up, and it looks like they added 3, because I know 3 plus 3 is 6. Let's make sure that this is really a plus 3 pattern, because we want to make sure it works out with the next one. And if it doesn't, then we know that that must not be the right pattern. 6 plus 3. Well, what is 6 plus 3? 9. So that does work. Our pattern is a plus 3 or add 3 pattern. So we need to just look at our 9 and add 3 and find out what was missing. 9 plus 3, which is 12. So 12 is our missing number in our pattern. So here's another pattern for us, another linear pattern. And just like with the input-output table, the biggest thing is I need to find out the rule or the pattern to this linear pattern so that will help me in figuring out that missing number. So we start off with a 55, and then it goes down to 50. Then I have a missing number right here, which I know I need to figure out. And then that number after that will turn to 40, and then 35 is the end of the pattern. So what does it seem like the pattern is following right now? It looks like it's going down, which would be a minus 5, because I'm noticing this is counting down by 5s. Let's make sure that that works. Well, 55 minus 5 is 50. That works. And then we have 50 minus 5. Well, that will already help us find out what is missing in the pattern. What would be 50 minus 5? It would be something with a 5 in the ones place, of course. And then what would be in the tens? A 4. So 45. 45 minus 5, does that work? Oh, yes, it does, because it turns to a 40. So, yep, that works. And then 40 minus 5 is 35. So, yep, that is a minus 5 or subtracting by 5 pattern. Let's try some. This time I have 2 blanks, and I'm going to have to figure out what first? The pattern. So let's figure out that pattern. What is it that they do at first, right? We have a 6, and then that turns into a 12. Well, I know that goes with a doubles fact that I know really well. 6 plus 6 equals 12. So that means they added 6 to get to 12. So I am going to see if this plus 6 pattern works. I will have to see if it works for this when I figure out what this number is. I will have to see if we add 6 to that number to get to 24, if that is right. So we will see. Let's try to figure that out. What would be 12 plus 6? 12 plus 6. Well, I know 2 plus 6 is 8. So 12 plus 6 must be 18. Let's see if 18 plus 6 really equals 24. Well, 18 plus 6, if I split that into a 2 and a 4, and I add 18 plus 2, that's 20, and then 20 plus 4, oh, is 24. So that does work. So I could take away that question mark now because I know that is indeed a plus 6 pattern. That works. And last but not least, I just have to figure out that last blank. What's 24 plus 6? What is 24 plus 6? You should know that a 4 and a 6 make a 10. So 24 plus 6 must be 30. For our last problem today, I'm going to want you to try to figure out the rest of this pattern. So far in this pattern, we have 32, 29, then I don't know what comes next after that. And then after that number is 23, and then after that again is something that I don't know. So please try to take a moment, think about what the pattern is in the video, and fill in the 2 blanks that I have. And then when you are ready to do that, please pause the video and write down your guess. And then when you are ready to resume the video and see if your pattern was correct that you came to figure out. So please pause the video and take a minute to figure it out, figure out the pattern and figure out what's missing, and then resume the video when you're ready. Okay, so I'm hoping that you are able to figure out that pattern and then of course our 2 missing numbers. We have 32 and 29. So right there was my hint to try to figure out what happened when it was 32 and then what happened when it turned into 29. So I noticed that the number went down, so it was subtracting. And what number did we subtract by? 32 minus 2 would be 30. So minus 1 more is 29. That's minus 3. 32 minus 3 is 29. Okay, I'm going to just make a guess right now that maybe this is a minus 3 pattern. I don't know for sure until I find out what's missing right here. And then when it turns into 23, if that works out or not. So what's 29 minus 3? Oh, 26. That was 29 minus 3. And then that does work. 26 minus 3 equals 23. So yes, that is a minus 3 pattern. And so what would be 23 minus 20? I'm sorry, what would be 23 minus 3? Oh, you probably heard I almost spoiled it. 20. Oh, I do that a lot. So that was a minus 3 pattern. And you figured out that our blanks were 26 and 20. Nice job. We will be practicing this a little bit more tomorrow with a little bit trickier ones. So stay tuned and keep practicing. So remember, your learning target today is I can identify patterns by using all 4 operations and find what is missing. And you'll know you're successful when you can find the missing number or numbers and find the pattern based on what is happening.